I'm a little bit excited because we've come so far in this journey that we are on day 50. Pope. Okay, so there's some kind of, invincible everywhere. Anyway, so day 50 is where we jump into high level agents, basically our high level AI agents, right? And this is something that you've been very familiar with. So this is day 50 of the entire 60-day series where I talk about AI right from the foundation level. And I'm pretty sure you've come, a long way along this, where we started from day one, which we started very small, prompt engineering. And that prompt engineering got us to having to prompt our, Chatgpt, or because that was what we're using back then. We also use Gemini a bit. But this time around, I should be showing you around Claude because I believe I've not, shown you that. And this is what we're going to be using quite often from now on. Interestingly, we went from prompt engineering, which was the first layer of AI, to the second layer, which is AI automation, to the third layer, which involved having to connect to other platforms using APIs, building a universal connector, HTTP, having to, different connection processes. We went very practical, very technical, that at that point I'm pretty sure a lot of people were, feeling confused. But me and you, we battled with it very well, and we're able to walk around that successfully as well. Then right from there we entered the AI agents, which AI agent is where we are. And in just a couple of days now, we're still an high level agent, right? A couple of days now, we should be entering that as our layer 5. Now, our AI agent is what we're going to talk about. And our AI agent is us coming from prompt engineering. We use this right in prompt engineering and we're going back there once again. Now, you'll be wondering that, then what is all the things I've learned for? Yes, they're actually very important though. Why they are very important is that learning those technical parts gives you enough knowledge, enough experience to build things and understand how they work without even having to see it. Now, what I mean is that when you are using these LLMs, an example is Chatgpt, Claude, Gemini, probably Grok, that's XAI, and several other platforms out there, Perplexity and co. When you use this, you can imagine what is going on. You can build this for yourself, and you can also build it for others as well, right on these platforms. So, high-level AI agent is just an AI that listens to what you have to say, and it interprets it in its own way. It understands what you are trying to say, then it interprets it. You can just prompt this using natural language, that's English, and it interprets it and it does what you want to do. Now, you can use high-level agents to ask questions, to also build things as well. Yes, you can use it to build things, and we're going to be seeing how this work very soon. Now, this is where everything that we want to build can be done right inside this. That means we can even build as far as building our scenarios on make.com. Yes, we can do it now here. I should make a special video on how to actually go around that in the future. When I say in the future, I mean just few videos to now before we go to the 5th layer. So in probably 2 to 3 videos more, I'm going to show you how to do that. And I'm basically going to show you how you don't have to even go into make.com to actually build things on make.com. So yes, you can now just chat with your AI, and from there it's going to handle every single thing for you. Anyway, what makes an high level agent different from the middle level and the low level agent? Basically, the way this works is your make agent lives inside make.com, right? Or inside anything, or inside any other automation platform. The scope of what you are building is within that place. While for middle level, you are taking other products from outside that has been built, other AI agents that have been built outside, then having it to connect to your low level agent, right? That is how that works. Even for Lovable, you can still connect it to your low level agent and connect all these things together. The thing about it is that each one of them are actually trapped in their own ecosystem unless given chance to talk to something else. An example, when we wanted to let the form from Lovable to talk to get these leads and probably save them to our CRM, we had to connect using webhook, and it just has to connect every single time to work. But each one is just talk. in their place, right? But for this, when you are using an high level agent, you are doing every single thing in one place. You don't have to go to each place to build by yourself. You can just have it connected to each account. You can connect to make.com, connect to Vapi, or connect to Lovable, and right inside your Claude chat, you can talk to it and it can build every single thing for you and connect it automatically for you as well, which eliminates a lot of hours that you will have wasted to have to do these things by yourself. So you can ask Claude about anything. It reasons through your problems, even the ones that you've not seen, in areas where you probably don't have enough knowledge on. You can prompt it, it answers you, makes things clearer to you, right? So this is what our technology has gotten us today, to a point where whatever you even want to build online, probably connecting to different platforms, even running of ads and tracking your Google Analytics, anything, you can actually do all these things right inside Claude. Yeah, the same thing applies to Chatgpt and the rest. They all have ways you can do that. Now, how do you connect an outside app to these apps? You have to make use of MCPs. So right now we're not using just an API to connect directly. We need MCPs to talk directly to it. And there are ways you can do MCPs. You can either build it manually or have the already made one and connect to it directly. I'm going to be showing you how all this works briefly. Now, okay, so here's a resource guide. You can follow through this if you need to. I added every single thing here. This is the build, and you can walk around each one of them by yourself. So let's go into Claude. So we're going to type Claude, this claude.com, and we are in. Jude returns, yes. So we're here to work. Fable 5 now runs on usage credit. Finally, usage credit. Ignore that. So this is it. You can see, if you're not familiar with Claude yet, here are your charts. I should not be showing you my charts though. I have a lot of things there that are very personal. And here are also projects. In projects, you can have a couple of things. Let me just show you the chart. I should probably blur this place. So there are lots of things here that I use for myself. And each chart is, you just have to click on new charts here and you have to type in whatever you want to do. And one of the best things I do is, I don't use this recorder though. I have Resonant. I told you about Resonant, right? So that's Resonant here. So just download it. There's one for Windows, there's one for Mac. Any one you use, just download it. It's what I use every single day and it works perfectly fine for me. So yes, you can use that. Anyway, so the one for projects looks like this. Now the thing about projects is that I actually use projects a lot. I mean, you can see I have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 12. There's one is from Claude itself. So we have 12 projects here, and each one serves a different purpose. A project is more like you are giving each one a separate room, like a pocket word on its own, giving it a place to live, and whatever you chat, whatever you say there exists there. It's not going to be taking the memory or the knowledge from other things. It's just going to be based on whatever information you are saying there alone. To make connection to our apps, you can just click on anyone there. You can actually click on customize. When you click on customize there, if you're using your phone, you can also walk around this, but to connect is I'm just showing you through this desktop mode, right? All right, so these are skills. There are skills as well. We should be using this quite often very soon. These are things you can create on your own. It's actually very easy to add a skill. You just have to talk to Claude, then have Claude create the skill, then you add it here by yourself. Very simple. So for connectors, this is where we're going to connect our MCPs. And as you see here, we already have some MCPs I've connected. I personally use Clay, and this is my GitHub integration as well. And here is for Google Drive. Here is make.com, which I also use. Here is Miro, and here is Notion. So you can also connect your Notion and have access, chat with Claude. Claude creates pages for you, does a lot of things for you. Now, how do we have all this connected in the first place? Though I disconnected these two because I currently don't want to do that right from Claude. I rather go by myself, check around things and see what's up. Anyway, here is how to add It's an app. You can browse connectors. These are MCPs that have been created. You can just add them to it. If there's anyone that is here that looks familiar, you can see we have a lot. We have ClickUp here as well. You can also work as the same way Notion works for me for project management. You can also use ClickUp. A lot of people prefer ClickUp. Here's Excalidraw. I use this as well currently, though I use the skill, and I was able to build this a separate way. Excalidraw skill. It's very similar to Excalidraw. It does the exact thing Excalidraw can do. I had to build it manually. So you can see that you can actually even build things. If you are familiar with Excalidraw, we used it in the past. Let's bring Excalidraw. So do you remember this? These were things that we're using for examples in our previous videos. You can see them. So all these things, I didn't use all of them. I forget sometimes to use this. So anyway, all these drawings, all these diagrams, okay, I think the one you should be most familiar with should be, let's look for it. We actually did refer to that a lot. So yes, you're familiar with this. What's an API? So this was weeks ago when we created this, and this was one of the things that sticked even to me as well. So Excalidraw actually did this. The skill did this, and not the MCP itself. So this was a case where I had to build something for myself, because I realized that I could build something and not have to pay also. You just have to prompt it very well to let it understand what exactly it is. So you can basically copy Excalidraw and just tell Claude to copy Excalidraw and do it for you. The issue around it is that I could have paid for Excalidraw, but I realized that this should actually come easier, right? And that was when I started using it. The only thing about it is that I did not draw by myself. I had to explain what I needed, and it drew all these things out for me. So I didn't draw a single one of this. Every single thing you see here, I didn't draw them. I had to let the AI do all these things by itself, which is not bad. So it made the things, because it was very hard for me to juggle between making the video, having the content, knowing what exactly I wanted to teach, and I'm definitely going to talk about that. Anyway, so here is the connector, and you can just click add, browse your connector, add anything. Okay, so you know what's going to happen. Let's quickly see one that is, do we need anyone? Yeah, currently, I have my clay already. Could have connected clay. This Windsor AI. No, we don't need Windsor. So there are several platforms here that if there's anyone you need, you can just connect it here easily. So it should be something very easy for you. You can type and search for anything. I'm trying to see if there's anyone that's familiar here. Wow, we have XR here. This is actually one I use. I use it to what I'm building currently, but I never try to run it here. Well, Claude can undo that for me. So, okay, I use this as well, but I did not connect here. There are just several platforms here you can choose from. There's Replit. There's even Replit. So you can chat with Replit right from here and have it hosted there immediately. It's just an MCP makes it easier for you to, because most people currently use chatbot, right? You use chatbot. I'm pretty sure you likely use Claude or Chatgpt a lot, or even Gemini. I was a fan of Gemini in the past, but now I use Claude and I support Claude. I support Claude very well. So, and let's see. Okay, so Replit, the single thing you need to do is just click plus, and when you do that, it's going to connect. See, it's requiring us to relaunch the tab, and it's going to sign us in the same way. Whenever you want to sign up for a new platform, it's going to tell you to sign in with your email or your Google, whatever. It's going to do the same thing here as well. So it wants to connect to our Replit account, and I don't have my Replit account with this email, so this is likely going to cancel. But that is how it works basically. Okay, so this is actually meant to, yes, you can see this. I just have to continue with Google. It's going to log in directly with this, so we don't need this at the moment, so we can go back to this. So that is how to connect with already made one. Now there are some services out there, there are some platforms out there that they do not have their MCPs inside this. So how you do that is you have to add them by custom. So you have to probably give it a name, if it exists, a name, and the MCP server URL as well, and also an OAuth client ID. These are things that you should be familiar with. If you do remember, We were also making connections during the HTTP, that's the universal connectors we were doing back then. Exactly the same thing. Our base URL, this is the base URL for their MCP, and also ID. This is might be optional. Remember, it might actually be optional, because if this is a base URL and you had the name and the base URL, and when you click add, it might just take you to OAuth directly, the same way the replit did. It took us to OAuth, so we're able to connect directly from there. There are also cases that you don't have to go through that, and for some services they already made it that yes, you are going to have a client ID and a client secret. So you have to type in your client ID. It can be anything, and client IDs are always very long and looks crazy. Client secrets, oftentimes you can't say anything. But anyway, let's add more. Yeah, that should be about right. So this is optional. Some services require this to connect, and this is like basically like your own particular API key, and it's going to connect directly to it. So it might also ask you to OAuth in cases too. But yes, from that you've connected your custom URL. Now if you need to know the information, the base URL and the rest, the same process I used to explain to you how to get these platforms. Like an example now, if you are looking for the MCP for Hunter.io, you can see this here. Hunter.io is MCP blah 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 blah. You can see this now. This is the this is the remote endpoint, and you copy this. The authentication API key, you obviously need your API key for your AI client to authorize blah blah blah. You can see the way it is. So in this case now I can just go here and write Hunter.io and put this in, and if the key is ready, I can just set all this in. Very easy. So that is how to work around that. No thanks. So that's basically how to work on the MCPs, and from there on you can just work around this. You can connect your Notion to this. I already have mine connected. If not, I will have shown you how to do that. Now the thing around this is that anytime you connect, there's always something. You can see these connected ones. You can go to each of them. Let me show you the one that you should be most familiar with, which is Notion, right? So when you click on Notion, you can see that we have tools as well. It's basically something we've been doing all this while. Tools. You are basically giving your AI access to read-only tools. These are things I did not probably break down very well. There is a read-only tool. There is also, I believe I've been here before to explain some of these tools and how it looks like. There is a write and delete tool as well. So you can see what these things can do. This one can read. It can download a Notion text attachment. Yes, it can fetch Notion entities, get page comments, get a lot of things. All these read tools, I allowed everything automatically. Yes, just access any page you want on my account, right? But when it comes to write or delete tools, write or delete basically means I want it to write for me inside. I want it to create a page and input text or anything for me. Delete, I want it to delete a page or anything. What I did was create a Notion attachment. No, this is just my personal preference. You can allow everything. For this, it's going to request for approval. For this, it means it's blocked. So this one I blocked it. Create a page comment. It needs approval every single time. It needs me to say yes. And create a Notion database. Yes, but it needs approval as well. Needs approval. Create a database view. No. Duplicate Notion page. No. Move Notion pages. I also said no because I don't want it to just suddenly move a page. Updates Notion data source. These are things that I can write inside my Notion account, so I want to be sure whenever it wants to do all these things. I would need to be sure every single time. So that was why I decided to do this. So anyway, this is how it looks like. The tools, you can see that this is a description as well of that particular tool. This entire MCP, this is the description. Each tool that we see here actually have their descriptions inside them as well. So you are going to be able to, not you this time, the AI knows this is the name of the tool, this is the name of the MCP and the description of the MCP. So it knows which MCP is Notion MCP, right? Now it knows that this is the name of the tool, though we can't see it, but there are actually descriptions inside each tool. They are already coded inside. So each one, it's going to read it, it knows what it is. Basically what our AI agent was doing on make.com is what this is also doing right here. So all these things are, just very easy to understand, and you can view, refresh to list, view details. All these things are just very easy. They're just, you need to understand how the platform, understanding these platforms now are actually, like, to be honest, very, very, very easy. So you can see the same thing applies for all this. This is for Canva. I actually removed that. I don't need that. I can just create any page or any this thing by myself from Chatgpt. I use Chatgpt often to even create, a lot of designs. So for Clay as well, for GitHub, for Google Drive, I left Google Drive alone to access some details very fast. So yeah, for make.com, I'm going to be showing you around that in a couple of days now. I'll show you how you can actually build a scenario right from make.com, connect every single one of them, and show you some limitations and constraints you also have while doing things like this. So I hope I've been able to explain very well, and you can do all this for yourself. Connect your Notion, talk to it, let it access some data. You can let it create a database, access those databases. It's something like, as soon as someone gets in, you're able to ask for it. Okay, how many leads do we have now? It's going to give you a response. Very easy, right? So add Gmail and combine them. You can also add your Gmail to it, ask for anything, find my newest hot lead in Notion, and draft a follow-up email to Gmail mentioning their company and what they asked for. You can see how easy this is now. So anyway, the power and the danger. There's actually danger to this. It's something I've explained as well. Now, the power here is one conversation just in Claude, directly in Claude, just having to chat once here, can give you the power to do anything. Since you've connected all the tools that you need, you can just talk there. You don't have to switch from one app to another. As we normally do back in the days, we switch from Go High Level to another platform, probably to your website. Every single one of them, you have to keep switching from one platform to the other to understand what you want to do. You are probably building here, you have a community, you're doing this here. But now, you're able to undo every single thing easily in just one place, right? So, and you can start delegating across each one of them. Now, the danger side is that the access means real responsibility. You are handling your entire account. A platform that has access to things private to you, like Notion, does, might have a lot of things that are actually personal to you. Mine has details of my clients. My own Notion has my leads, since that's where my CRM is. The same thing for several companies out there and several businesses out there which use Claude to connect their MCPs to their CRM, probably Go High Level and the rest. So you know that this is danger. This is something you need to be careful about. This is something you need to manage. And that is why I decided to do that. I didn't also wanted to make anything that I'm not aware of, which was why I decided to just let it have access to read. But whenever it wants to connect, I want it to need the approval from me. It always requests approval from me, or I even block some of it. I'm doing this to protect myself. I'm doing this to also protect my clients as well. Because one thing is that their details are there. If it can read it and it makes changes to it or reaches out to them by itself, it's going to be very bad. So that was why I decided to make it this way. I only approve it directly from me. Everyone uses their favorite AI platform now. I use Claude and I use it to build things better and faster using this high-level agent. And everyone does that as well. But if you are someone doing that, I will advise you to only give it access to what you need to give it access to, and also let it request from you often. It's best. Doesn't take more than just a second to say approved. So this is what I do to ensure that I curb the danger, and this is where it fits the entire ladder. So we've had our low-level agents, which is on make.com, or probably you're using anything, you're using Zapier or any other platform. You're able to build some minor automations that you need some processes to run on its own, which some of them you might not be able to do it right on Claude directly. You cannot build something that will be running by itself inside Claude here. No, you can't do that. You have to interact with it for it to do, right? For it to work, you have to interact with it. You have to tell it, send this email. You have to tell it before it works, right? So you building on make.com using the low level agent is a way for you to do something automatically for you every single time without even having to come and chat here, right? And remember, you can connect your make.com here and even build your scenarios or your agents here as well. Another thing now, that's for the middle level, is that the specialized systems like the voice agent and the rest, you can build them, talk to them right here. You build on that platform, then connect to your low level agent, and you can talk to every single thing, know how the connections are, and you can have access to every single one of them right here. So the high level agent is just a way to connect these two, and I mean the low level agents, the middle level agents to the high level agents. Every single thing can branch to it, you can chat with it, you can understand how each system works, and from there you can chat, you can research, you can do every single one of them inside a single page. So yeah, that is everything you just need to know about that. So the free trial check is that though I'm using a paid plan for Claude, you can also use a free plan. It's limited in the amount of times you can actually request or send a message or request for a reply, but when you have the paid plan, that might actually come in handy. But for now, you can go with the free plan. If you are probably familiar with Gemini, you can use Gemini instead, you can use Chatgpt instead, but at this phase I'm going to advise you to go into Claude. So we have Notion and Gmail connectors, which are also free, and every single thing if you want to build something heavy, if you want something that is going to require you to probably chat with Claude like 10 times in a day, you probably need a paid plan, and try to exhaust your tokens. I exhaust my own every single day, though recently I've not had to build something crazy since I've been making videos like this, but I'll tell you, exhaust it, you paid for it. Anyway, so from tomorrow we're going to stop connecting other people's tools, and we'll start teaching Claude how to work on our own tool, how to work on something that is specific to what we need to do. What I mean here is that we are going to start teaching Claude to understand the kind of things we want to build, to understand our business, and to start building things for us. We research, we put things together. So I'm going to walk you around this. And remember, you're going to be needing layer 1, which is prompt engineering once again. Prompt engineering now this time around is going to come with context engineering. It's also going to come with harness, and in the nearest future I'm going to explain a little bit about looping to you as well. That's the fourth one. So each one is just understanding more on how to prompt very well. Now you've understood prompt engineering and probably context engineering a little bit in the past in layer 1. All these are things we're going to use right from tomorrow, and yes, I'm going to see you there. Have a nice day.